Hi everybody, it's Shannon. I thought I would give you an update to my surgery. It is Friday. I've already lost track of the days. It's Friday and I had my surgery to remove the right lobe of my liver on Tuesday. So I'm a couple of days out. So this video is going to be about like the pre-surgery routine that went into my specific liver surgery. So yours, if you're having a liver resection, might be a little bit different than mine, but this is kind of how it all played out. So I had to get to the pre-surgery like waiting room at 9 o'clock, which I thought was awfully odd because if you've ever had surgery before, and with my colon surgery, you only had to get there 2 hours beforehand. So my surgery was not till 1, so I thought that was a little odd that I was coming in so early, but I just kind of figured that they wanted me there to like keep an eye on me, make sure I didn't eat anything, but I was taken back within 15 minutes. So once I got back into the room, they have you wipe down with these incredibly astringent wipes, and you do, like one for each arm, or one on your arms, one for each leg, your back, from the top of your neck down, but you don't put it on your face because it's very harsh. So they want to make sure that any germs that are on there are off. And then I got to change into my beautiful gown and my socks, and they also put on compression hose. So when I came in, I knew that I would be getting an epidural for the pain, and I had heard that it was a very good pain reliever, and I will say it has been a really good pain reliever. It doesn't make you so sleepy, and it does provide like an instant kind of thing. So like right before I decide to like get up and walk around the halls, 5 laps or something, I will dose myself up, and so there's no like risk of, I guess, falling or anything like that. It's fine. But anyway, so after I did the wash, then it was time to do an IV, and I knew, of course, you get an IV. I told you before that they wouldn't use the port. So I had an IV, which I'm kind of a little person, so I have T9C wrists, so nurses always freak out when they see me, and this was no different. So one nurse who was extremely nice, and she stayed with me like the whole time, she tried twice, and the second one was probably fine, but she didn't feel like it was good enough. So she went and got a different nurse. Now, she did get the labs taken off of one of those veins, so it wasn't all for nothing or anything. She went in and got a different nurse to come, and they ended up putting the IV in my upper arm over here. So that was the one that was in for the surgery. And I had been told that chances are they're going to want to put in another one on the other arm, which sure enough they did, but that one was while I was under. And interestingly enough, I could see 3 pokes on this one before they got it in. So I guess my veins just are difficult to locate. So I had those. Then it was time for the epidural. And I'll be honest, that was what I was most apprehensive about for the pain, only because I had had one when I was pregnant with both of my children, and I just remember like them inserting it just was not a pleasant experience, which, as it turns out, like if you're getting an epidural for something besides like when you're pregnant, it's fine. They give you all sorts of like drugs before they stick that needle in. So, I mean, I didn't even feel like the stick and the burn that they do beforehand before they put in the giant epidural needle. I didn't even feel that. So really, that's kind of funny because I was also scared to death about getting my port, and that too was a piece of cake. So, getting an epidural, if you're getting one for your liver resection, it's no problem. They'll give you all sorts of drugs to make you comfortable before they insert that needle, which is really, really nice. One thing I did not know that they wanted, and apparently it's all up to anesthesia as to whether or not you get this, is they wanted an arterial line as well. And that is a vein that's deeper in you. So just like when you have your port placement, they have to get the ultrasound machine out and they take pictures of, juicy veins, and where to hit the vein. When they do arterial lines, and mine was on my wrist, they had to go and do the whole ultrasound on that in order to find that vein because it's so deep in there. But again, that didn't hurt either. I got a different set of drugs for that one before they put in that line, which I think that's why I had nausea when they rolled me in to the operating room. Normally, I have the steel stomach in our family, and I don't usually get nauseous or throw up or anything like that. So the fact that they kind of put my head down and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm nauseous. And to be quite honest, I don't have it very often, so I don't really know what it feels like that much. But I was like, I think I do. So they kind of suctioned all the saliva out of my mouth, and so I don't know if they gave me anything for it or not, but they just went ahead and quickly put me under, and that's all I really remember from that. So I think truly the reason why I got nauseous was maybe between the pain relievers that they give you before they put in the epidural, and the pain medication that they put in before they give you your arterial line. I don't know if that had something to do with it, because they're obviously two different medications, because they wouldn't want you to OD on something. So I wonder if that's what that could have been. But I was out and slept a good long time. I had been told that the operation would take, I had heard, 2 to 3 hours. My husband had heard 2 hours. So I think I don't know, I think neither one of us were listening well whenever they told us that. Because the operation ended up being 4 hours and 45 minutes. So apparently my waiting room cheerleaders were getting a little concerned. And my daughter was texting my husband, why isn't she out yet? Why isn't she out yet? And interestingly enough, it was my son who told her, calm down, she's okay, it'll be all right. So I thought that was sweet, big brother. But that was the whole of pre-surgery. So you may have more things hooked up to you. You may have less things hooked up to you than I did. Like I said, I didn't know about the arterial line going in. So that was kind of, that was surprising. And I didn't know that they would put in a whole second IV either. We haven't used it. But that's how everything's going right here. So I will update again on what my family actually heard and friends heard from the doctor. So bye, stay strong, be positive, love y'all.